Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Just gonna turn this volume up. Okay, why don't we begin by what's your name and what's the project or the organisation that you work for, or is it your organisation?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your name, what's the name of the organisation, and what's the organisation do?
Okay. So I'm Sangeeta Sengupta, and I'm the founder and the director of TiffinWalli CIC. TiffinWalli CIC is a trademark registered CIC company with the social missions to help disadvantaged women who are determined and talented. And our aim is to change their lives through cuisine and culinary, basically. So,
How did it come about? Why did you set up that organisation? Why did you set up TiffinWalli? How did it come about? And
thank you. So my background is employment and training.
actually, I tell you what, if you start that again, but you know what I might do is, if that's okay, I might just move this.
In the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Sorry. So,
Yeah.
how did it come about?
So
Why did you set up?
my background is training and employment. So I helped people within the community with the training, and then we recruit people for the NHS trust, etc. So we always find this group of people are women who are far away from employment market, never fit in those categories to find sustainable job opportunities. This is due to they being moved from different countries, the lack of English language, very low qualifications, and then the caring responsibilities, either looking after the family or the children. But when the children grows up, or even if they're young, these people want to do something either to support their families, the husband, or they are single parents to have a better income. But they are so far away from the employment market, they can't find any jobs. And even they find some jobs which require very long hours of working, like care assistants, and then in the catering as well, kitchen assistant. Those jobs are really long hour jobs. So time to time we interacted with those people, and they keep on saying that what you can do for us. So we did a survey along the way. We attended few events and did the survey with those type of women. And they came up with the ideas that they're interested doing, utilizing their existing skills, which is cooking. So how we can help them with the cooking. So we had other women who were the nutritionists, and they were working in the health and well-being programs. So they came up as well with the same group, talking about they wanted to utilize the cooking skills. So we then thought that why don't we open a catering business where we can give them the flexible working hours, and they use this existing cooking skills. We will help them with the professional cooking skills and upskills them a little bit, and they can work with the catering business. So we started the catering business. We named as a TiffinWalli, and TiffinWalli came from the idea of Dabbawala in Bombay, which they provide dabba lunches to people, the men who will go to works. So tiffin is the called dabba, and wali is the female versions of wala, which is men. So we named the company as a TiffinWalli. So our purpose was providing catering and food service to the NHS and other corporate organizations. So that's where we formed.
How's Future London become involved with you?
So Future London, I got connected with another project, and at the time TiffinWalli was developing a yogurt product, our first food product, and Future Fund was looking for a food service, so we provided that yogurt as a food service. From then we came to know about the funding, and Future London kind of encourage us that your service is so good, you can apply for the Future fund later next year. So we applied. We really wanted to get our yogurt project to start so that we can help more women with the employment. So yogurt project is a recipe which came from participants. During the COVID time, we were checking on different recipes, and one of the participants provided us one recipe and asked us to come, do you want to test this yogurt? And we tested, and it was amazing. So we thought, why don't we make this yogurt as a more mainstream market? So, and we sell this yogurt to generate income, which can help not only the employment in the production line, but also make our organizations more sustainable. So for that particular yogurt project, we apply for the capital funding, and the funding amazingly helping us to start this. We are launching this product in December, hopefully, if everything goes right. So we are very thankful to the Future Fund. Without that funding, it wasn't. Without the capital funding mostly, because not many organizations provide capital funding. Without that, it wouldn't be possible.
It sounds to me, TiffinWalli has allowed the women that you're working with a way to express themselves, to express their art. I mean, cooking is an art.
Yeah.
And as with any way of expressing oneself, that must be a treasure for them to be able to express. What do you think?
Exactly. What we see that these are very talented women. They being praised by the families and the friends, but then that particular skills never being used, never being shared with the external people. But they are very passionate about the cooking. They feel very happy when somebody praised it. So whole purpose was that to bring these food and their art, their talent to be shared with the external people, not limited to the friends and family, and also to ways of generating income for them. So they work as a self-employed basis with us, and employment. That some people cannot work full-time or even the part-time because they are very young kids. So we ask them to be self-employed and supply food to us. So that way they kind of get engaged. So we usually look into the various way supporting these women, not the traditional way that we will have that 9 to 5 or particular hours of work. So we look into that, what's their needs, where their difficulties they are facing. That's why the organization in first place we created to support these women and bring their talent out. And I'm not a good cook, but I really appreciate somebody when cook delicious food. I said, why we can't share it with others? And especially the food is some way, it's to connect with people. So we want these women to get connected with people. And as an organization, we wanted to connect it with the community as well, because we are bringing the food from the different culture and different countries, not necessarily particular type of food which you can get it in any other companies.
Have you heard stories from the women that you're working with, how being able to express themselves in this way has impacted their family or their community, around them?
Yeah. So there are two group of women. One, they are educated, but they can't do it because they have got the care responsibilities. And the other group is really kind of came from remote village of different countries. Their English is not their first language, not even second language, probably third or fourth language. So they are very shy in that sense. So when we kind of ask them to supply the food for us, and we provide that in our catering service, and when they appreciated that, they're being really motivated in that sense. They never thought that somebody external people will be supplying. So somebody will be appreciating. Now then, when they talk about their food to their family members, then the husband comes to support, then the children comes to support. So you do see that respect they get within the household, it changes. So that we always wanted, that the women to be respected in their household as well. It's not because sometimes the caring is granted. They say mother will do it anyway. So we find it when the husband also comes and support. So that's the change we have seen. We have seen the changes in other way, which is not a positive change, because a lot of men doesn't want the women to be independent. So there is a lot of tensions around that as well. So that changes, we also seen that if a woman in a house feel a little bit confident, then was the whole scenario of the household change. So both positive and negative changes, we can see that.
That's amazing. You could say that food is culture, or food makes up culture. And I wonder if there's an element of, because these ladies are able to express themselves, in a household, perhaps you make the same food all the time because people have their favourites. The children have their favourites, or so it becomes limited with what you can make. Whereas now they have an opportunity to make outside of that environment, and so I wonder if there's an impact on like keeping culture alive. Recipes that they learn as children, or just even the ability to try new recipes that they had heard of or that are part of their wider culture. It feels like, or it sounds to me as if you're giving them an opportunity to delve into their culture, to experience more of their culture, and that must have a really positive impact on them, but also keeping their culture alive for their children who perhaps have grown up in over here in England or in the UK and not so connected with their culture.
Yeah, it's both ways. So that's very interesting questions, because we are dealing with this in both ways. First, we are working on a heritage project to retain how women retain the home food culture. So we're capturing the interviews of the women who came long time ago, and even now, the children are trying to retain that or not, or how they are making it as a fusion food. So that way we are keep recording of what the change is taking place. For these women, the one who are coming to cooking, when we are teaching them the professional cooking, then some of the elements we are utilizing as mainstream cooking. The way we cook, etc., mainstream, because you have to do professionally, and sometimes we are doing fusion food. So they're learning that mainstream food, taking it home, and how the children are enjoying there, because a lot of families doesn't give them, or the children doesn't like other food than the Asian food. So for them getting a different food, even the pasta cooking in different way, and a certain food which is in the mainstream catering business, you see those they take it home after cooking to share it with the family, because they get so excited to share it with the family. So we allow them to take it home to share it, and how the children are enjoying that food apart from their everyday curries and etc. cooking. Other way around is that these women are also enjoying, because they were not exposed to this cooking, that how to cook the mainstream food of UK's, or the professional cooking. So they're enjoying learning a different food culture. And now what they are doing is kind of fusioning it, so utilizing that skills to their own food. But again, they are maintaining the home food culture as well. We are bringing that out as well. You do see curries, etc. over here all the time, which is not a home food curries, which usually you go into the restaurant. So home food is different. See, we're trying to bring that. Now the word authentic might not be suitable for all kind of things. So we just bringing the home food culture which these women's cooked to the mainstream. So vice versa, they are learning to use the techniques and other food to bring it at home, and we are bringing their food out. Or sometimes we are fusion, like the yogurt is very traditional yogurt, and it came from one part of the Bangladesh, and we are bringing it out, but we know that the mainstream probably not going to like that particular food. So we have to improvise it depending on our customer, how the customer would like. They might not like too sweet yogurt. So how we improvise it, but still the technique and the things is all utilized same way what traditional yogurt being used. So we got it over there to give them the taste of very cultural food, just changing or improvising the yogurt little bit. So the word authentic, we are using the authentic, but every person, they do on their own way. The authenticity changes every time to person to person. So we cannot claim which or what food exactly is the authentic food, because every household does the same food different way. So every mother's cooked same food different way, and we were interviewing different people. Now the person will say, this is the authentic way. The other person said, no, my mom didn't teach me. This is the authentic way. So we try to avoid the word authentic rather than bringing the home food culture, because each individual home is different. The way of cooking, their own kind of, which we call is that they have got their own hands of cooking. So they are expert in certain way of cooking, and that makes the food different. So bringing that as well. But as I said, we retain that as well, but we are exposing it to the other people, and we welcome the changes as well. So three way we are tackling that same food, keeping the culture, but learning each other's culture as well, food. So open up with the food and get connected.
What's the future of TiffinWalli? It sounds like you're doing incredible things. You're allowing people to express themselves. That's helping the connection within their own family, connection outside of their immediate family. It's helping, to remember their own culture and to share in other cultures, which this all sounds incredible. What's the vision for TiffinWalli going forward?
Now the vision is, as a founder, my vision is to financially independent women. Now we started with the food, but we wanted to go along to see how does it develop further. I don't believe in a kind of a static way of development. So I'm not seeing myself or as an organization, 5 years we will be doing the same catering. We might be doing something totally different in that sense. But the vision is that to bring more food culture or the food these women does to share with the external people. That is the kind of the baseline. And then we wanted to develop from there. Wanted these women to feel more respectable, or their talent to be shared, and to bring them. Most of the women are very shy, even though they do good cooking. They don't like to come and talk about their cooking outside. The confidence level is so low because they think that's their job anyway. So they don't come and talk about it. So we want them to come out and talk about their food, the history of that food, how they feel about that food. So those things I wanted to bring it out. Want these women to come out and talk about it. So the production line we will still like to open up. We like more people to come, not any particular culture or community, but as a whole, as a community from any part of, because through us the women is the same. So whichever culture we come from, but kind of supporting those women who are never being recognized, to bring them out. So that's the organization's vision, is that to bring them. But probably 3 years we might be doing something else, but related to food definitely, but something else. But the business side is that more food productions to sustain the business. Definitely we are getting the grant. The purpose is to be sustainable more. So we are less dependent on grants and more dependent on our own the way of generating income. So that's the visions that how we can be more. So the other things will be there, producing more books or go online, etc. That's we are doing side by side as well. So.
Perfect. That's it.